What's good, what's good, what's good? It's your boy Micah back at it again with yet another video. I apologize for the lack of videos over the past couple of days. Got busy with some things, but it's all good. If you haven't watched already, check out the Necromancy I posted. You know, it'll give you some good benefit. It'll drag you below the threshold of darkness and death for whatever your ritual purposes may be. But today, I want to talk or give beginning steps on the exact mechanics of death magic and death cursing in general. Most rituals that you see in grimoires and in various, videos and books, they're general, so to speak. Meaning that you simply do the ritual, follow the steps, and then all you know is your enemy dies. It's not providing a whole lot of detail for the beginning or novice black magician or necromancer as to what exactly happens or to how exactly to perform the fucking ritual to get what you desire. The most basic part of these mechanics is knowledge. You need to know how, if you fuck with the chakra system, you need to know how the chakra system works. You need to know how the energy and the subtle bodies of your opponent work as well, because that's what's going to create the change if you're going for more internal things such as health, sickness, disease, causing them to break mentally, that kind of thing. If you're going for more external circumstances, like you're attacking their environment, you need to know, this is kind of where feng shui comes in, but without the whole fucking moving furniture around aspect. Feng shui deals with the flow of energy in a person's environment that dictates and has influence on their actions and their way of thinking. Very similar to Final Destination. The Final Destination series is a very good example of feng shui gone totally wrong. Black magic gone totally wrong, like, bruh. But going back to the point, what you do for whatever or if you're doing your custom baneful rituals or whatever, you need to identify your target and the way their energy, body, and environment works. Then you can plot and plan psychically as to how your magic is going to manifest. For example, if you know your target travels down a certain freeway every day to go to work, you can attack the energy of that road, because all things have energy, and cause accidents and maybe catch your victim in one of those accidents. You feel me? For that, if you want to continue with that example, it's as simple as increasing or filling the energy of the road, the chi of the road, with death essence. It will program that whole energetic highway for accidents, causing people to make mistakes, simple, tiny mistakes that get people into pile-ups, accidents. Maybe you get a fucking diesel truck on the road and it fucking blows up. You feel me? That kind of shit. If you're working against a magician who has some level of fucking power, then you're going to have to go about it more carefully, i.e. taking down their protections first, making sure that they don't have any wards or protecting spirits, guiding them and having their back and all that good shit. There's many different ways you can do that kind of thing. You can do like a spirit disconnect type ritual. You can cloak your attacks in stealth, that way they're not sensed or picked up by the person's protections, and it just makes its way in like that. But you have to exercise patience. That's another very important aspect with death magic. Patience. You hear stories and legends of assassins, necromancers, magicians, etc., waiting years upon years upon years for everything to align so they can get that one kill. To some, and even to myself at one point, that seemed highly unnecessary, but with some circumstances and some people, you gotta tough that shit out. You gotta fucking wait, because eventually the domino will fall and set off a chain reaction that ends the life of your victim. So once again, patience. To recap so far, we have the two most exact specifics necessary for executing death magic. Knowledge of your victim's energy body and how their environment works around them, and patience, a divine, infernal type of patience, to where you can plot out everything. You're not rushing to do something. You're taking your time and making your moves wisely, so that way you don't fuck up and have a death curse backfire on you. The next thing you need to know is color. You'll hear people say, and even I have said at one point, the color candles you use in magic do not matter. To a degree, that is true. Once you get to a certain level in your own power and in your own confidence in your magic, you don't have to use certain colors for various rituals. But colors do play a very important part. They amplify the energy in accordance with intent for whatever it is that you're doing. In the case of death ritual, black candles. Why? Because black holds death essence very well. It's like a container. It's a storage space for death essence. And it has a very long half-life to go about it before shit starts breaking down, decaying, all that good shit. So you can use black candles not just for cursing, but to reverse works as well. Black is very neutral in polarity. It's kind of two-sided, so to speak. You can reverse works with it, or you can cause things to happen with it. You can work with the darkness that way. You can do a variety of different things. Red for works of lust, sex, vampirism, sapping the physical strength and vitality from a person. Green for causing things such as nausea, for example, for sapping the financial prosperity of your opponent, that kind of thing. And what you need to do is you need to color coordinate. So if you're using black candles, dress in black. Have your talismans, if they have the color black in them, wear them while you're doing your death ritual. And as you get deeper into trance, as you get deeper into the ritual, you'll feel the energy start to amplify very fucking quickly. It can really catch you off guard when you start doing this, because you're used to a certain intensity in your rituals up until this point. But when you purposefully, when you have the intent to color coordinate and match these energies, it will compound upon your target, causing things to happen very, very, very fucking quickly. So, to recap once more, you need knowledge of how your victim's energy body works and how their environment works around them. You need patience to plot out your moves. That way you can make the domino strike and fall at the right time, in the right way, in the right fashion. And you need knowledge of color resonance in order to amplify your fucking rituals so they're at their most powerful. The next thing you need is control of death essence. This is where you can direct it either in mass or you can direct it in small amounts. You know, poisoning the metaphorical well, so to speak. You can poison their finances. You can poison their fucking organs, like their kidney or their liver. And oftentimes, and I want you to listen to me very closely, oftentimes the most direct route to killing your opponent is not the best way. For example, you might have a necromancer that thinks that going straight for the fucking heart is going to do the most good in this situation, you know, causing them a heart attack or whatever. But if they have no history of having a stroke or a heart attack, that's kind of going to be difficult. Not saying that it's impossible, but you're going to have a hard time. However, if you poison their kidney, they have to get an operation to have a kidney transplant. The operation goes wrong, and then your victim is bleeding out on the fucking surgical table, and now they're dead. You feel me? And so oftentimes it's the most indirect routes that cause the greatest amount of change. So this goes back to looking beyond the surface and knowing how your opponent's body works. You have to be slightly unorthodox with this shit. That's the way I'm trying to phrase it. The least plausible way to kill your opponent is oftentimes the most plausible way to kill your opponent. Keep that in mind. Now, in regards to time frames, time is within all things. Time is ruled by Saturn, Chronos. Time is the essential nature of something to manifest. This is why you have things like 7-day candles, 3-day candles. This is why rituals are timed according to certain amounts of days of the week or a certain amount of weeks, that kind of thing. However, at the same time, no pun intended, you cannot always place a clock on your death magic. This is for a variety of reasons. Perhaps the person has protections or wars or something like that that might cause the death magic to take longer than normal in order to manifest fully. There are some cases where it's simply a matter of things aligning one by one, which can take days, weeks, months, or years in order to get the death curse to your opponent. This could be because of their, I'm not going to say karma, but because of the entanglements and threads in their soul that dictate their action and their life purpose and their plan. Some things need to be completed before your death curse can hit. That way a chain reaction is set off that goes about and strikes other targets you have, just like chain lightning. You feel me? This can get very irritating. It can get very agitating sometimes, but again, patience. Patience is what makes or breaks the necromancer or black magician. Now, if you're in a situation to where, like, you got a fucking urgent situation going on, if you can muster up the will and you use the right ingredients like chili powder or cayenne pepper, black pepper, etc., and you really kick that shit through, yeah, it's going to manifest very quickly. I know someone who had to stop a rapist in a very urgent situation. And as far as I'm aware, they got that shit taken care of and handled in less than 2 hours. So yeah, it can be done. However, it's not always best to rush your fucking work. You feel me? To give a very good example of this, let's say you're in a love relationship and your girl has left you for someone else. Now, if you go about rushing the death curse on the person in order to get your girl back, what could happen is, because things are moving too fast and they haven't developed well enough, is that not only does the person who took your girl die, but your girl also dies as well. Again, patience. Now, in regards to execution of death magic, most systems rely on a form of visualization where you see and you mentally program and set up vortexes in the astral through imagery of your target dying, being poisoned, or whatever. This attracts, it uses the law of attraction here to attract various events to that target through changing their vibrational state. It changes their emotional state first. This is why you see, like especially in hoodoo and Haitian Vodou, when targets get cursed, they all of a sudden get depressed, their emotions start to be out of whack, etc. It's not for the sole sake of getting them depressed. It's for the sake of lowering their vibrational state so that negative things and death can come to them. Because if your vibration hits low enough, you're pretty much gone. Well, I suggest to you, because this can take a while, this does not rely on visualization at all. It relies on the mechanics of the ritual and proper coordination and planning. Set up your ritual, of course. Focus upon your enemy. Notice I did not say visualize. I simply said focus. Because this is you're focusing on the astral image of your opponent in real time. You're not visualizing them. That's the difference. And then do your ritual. And things will happen on a much more supernatural scale, to the point to where it looks like it wasn't even your magic that did it, because you're operating at a very deep level now. This is especially true when you're working with Necromancy. When you go beyond the threshold of sleep, you're working magic at an extremely deep level that is very difficult to trace. Now, in regards to, again, the execution of your necromancy and your black magic, what you need to realize is that as you change, because for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, As you change your target's vibrational state, your own vibrational state is changing. Now, in the beginning stages, this can manifest as bad luck, depression, physical unnatural pains in your body, that kind of thing. But as you cleanse yourself and then as you rise, as your energies and your vibrations rise and you ascend energetically first as a necromancer, when you curse someone, you'll start to feel your own spiritual and psychic dominance take the forefront. This manifests in feelings of, I don't want to say being a god over someone, but it's quite similar to that. Because energetically, you're shifting the scales of balance, so to speak. You're outweighing the scales. You're turning the tides of fate. You're turning the tides of luck. You're turning the tides of life and death in order to get something accomplished. And the sensation is not in the least hallucinogenic. This is not in your mind at all. It's an actual, real energetic change that's going on. So as you grow in your black magic and necromancy, you will realize that you're indeed ascending in a way. And you're ascending because you're exercising your ability and your dominance over said target. There's one thing I told someone not too long ago, is that the act of murder, whether it's physical or spiritual, is the ultimate form of dominance. It is the ultimate expression of dominance and thus the ultimate path to power. I'm going to say that again. Murder, whether it's physical or spiritual, is the ultimate act and expression of dominance and the quickest and ultimate, most effective way to power. Why do I say that? The amount of energy it takes to kill someone, holy shit. Whether it's physical or whether it's spiritual, it takes an ungodly amount of energy to do so. To some, it may feel easy and all that other kind of shit, but if you really slow down and look at what you're doing, it's really not. There's a spiritual struggle, a battle of wills that ensues when you're doing this shit. When two people of equal power meet, whether it's through the internet or whether it's in person, there are waves of energy that are released, first mentally in the mental body, and other people can sense it as well, no matter where they are in the world. They can sense the meeting of two people of power, and that struggle, that battle is already being fought on the spiritual plane. So before you even curse your target, their spirit already knows what you're doing. And so it's already fighting it off before you even set up the fucking ritual. This is why stealth is very important. You need to be cloaked in your thoughts, in your spirit, in your attitude, in your actions. That way you can get the drop on a motherfucker if you need to end them. You feel me? For those of you, to kind of expand on this topic, those of you who are magicians and whatnot, you may have just been chilling one day, nothing going wrong, you know what I'm saying? You happy, you positive, then all of a sudden you just get angry and pissed off out of nowhere. You really feel like somebody's trying shit. That's because they are. They're either already doing it in the middle of ritual, or they're thinking about doing it. Or they could be about to be thinking about it, but they haven't executed it yet. This is where time comes in and illusion comes in, because time is non-linear. Therefore, your spirit and your psychic senses can sense shit before it even enters the time stream to take place. This is where premonitions come from, although premonitions tend to be a bit late with the predicting aspect. You feel me? I know that was a little bit confusing what I just said, so I'm going to say it again. Time is non-linear. Your spirit can sense people trying shit against you before that person even thinks about trying shit against you. And if you sharpen yourself up enough and develop this predatory awareness, you can catch someone in the act, in ritual, whether through scrying, intuition, clairvoyance, or otherwise. You'll just know. And you can counter it right then and there, i.e. with an incantation, with a fucking ritual, if you're at your ritual chamber, sending a spirit. You feel me? Like, this shit gets so fucking deep, yo. As you, and another thing I want to say, As you execute or kill more and more and more targets, your own soul and your own spirit is going to start changing. It's going to start transmuting and transmogrifying into something different. This is ascension in a nutshell, becoming something more than human. First, it's becoming fully human, and then you become something more than human. Now, in regards to the whole battle of wills topic and all the other kind of stuff, you need to make sure you have the spiritual fortitude and the spiritual strength to kill your opponent. That's going to determine how hard your work hits and how your manifestations manifest. If you don't, you're going to have backfired spells and you're going to end up on the receiving end of death, which is not pleasant. The way you develop spiritual strength: meditation, death essence attunement, hexing and cursing, being humble and staying aware of your spiritual surroundings, developing real predatory awareness, not just some fucking astral travel at night and freaking, you vampirize your opponent and then you return back to your body. That's not predatory awareness. That's simply astral vampirism through the dreams of your target. That does not develop solid real awareness. You get solid real awareness through everyday life and interactions on the spiritual realm with other magicians and situations that you go through. This is why spirits give us tests. This is why spirits sometimes fucking scare us in order to make us work through the fucking fear, so we develop strength necessary to handle our own and come into our own as magicians, so we're not calling upon the spirits because we feel like we have to or we're enslaved to them, but because we can, because we want to, because we have the strength and the will to meet the spirits halfway and they meet us halfway and we can get shit done. You feel me? That's real predatory awareness. And it's not even about assuming everyone is against you. No, it's being aware of how human magicians are and magicians in other planes. There are some predatory motherfuckers out there in planes beyond this one that don't give a fuck, that tap into their shit at a supernatural level. I'm talking about speed, strength of magic, all that kind of shit. And if you want to survive in this plane or in another plane, you have to measure up or be better. It's that fucking simple. It's a matter of fucking evolution, Darwinism, natural fucking selection. If you don't put in the fucking work, you're gonna get taken out the game. You feel me? If you caught out here lacking in shit, you don't got no talismans, you don't got no protection, you don't got this, that, or the other, you're gonna get taken out the game real quick. Feel me? So, with that being said, I'm going to do a quick recap and then conclude this video. What you need the exact things you need to execute death magic, whether it's a general ritual or a custom ritual, is knowledge of how the opponent's energy body and their environment works around them. 2, you need motherfucking, oh shit. You need the knowledge of how their energy body and environment works. You also need knowledge of color resonance as well. Again, if you're using black candles, you can use that for cursing, hexing, dressing all black. Use your talismans that have the color black in them, all that good shit. You need patience, divine patience, so you can plot out everything without fucking up and making mistakes. You need strength of will and predatory awareness. That way you can sense opponents trying shit before even the opponent knows that they're thinking about trying shit, and you can thus counter it before it even manifests, and also so you can fucking survive in this world, in this magical world. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. Hopefully it provided some information for you. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, email me, leave a comment, all that good shit. Till next time, stay safe out here, beware the zombies, and talk to you later.